guys, welcome back to another one of my fabulous screencasts. Thank you to those of you who responded to the survey that I made about distance learning. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to give you an extra participation grade for completing that. So that's the first extra credit opportunity towards quarter 3 that I'm going to give you. I have some other stuff planned. I just need to finalize it, and I will share it with you later this week. One of the pieces of feedback that I got that I'm going to do my best to follow is that some of you said it would be helpful if I could give you an overview of the week at the beginning of the week so that you could kind of plan your time accordingly. I will do that as much as I possibly can, but I have to be honest with you, there's a lot that I am figuring out as we go in these like little tiny chunks of time that I can squeeze in during my daughter's nap time and that kind of stuff. So I will do the best that I can. Today, I actually am prepared to give you everything for the week. And then next week is vacation. So you won't have anything from me, which is great, except for extra credit if you want to do it. Don't forget that survey, if you want to take it and get the extra participation grade, is due on Tuesday, the 14th. So please get that done. One of the other pieces of feedback that I got on the survey for the 30 of you who have already taken it was that when I asked for what you wanted more help on, some of the answers were just preterite and imperfect. I have good news for you and I have bad news for you. It might be a lot of bad news. Any Spanish course you take for the rest of your life is going to address the preterite and the imperfect. This is one of the most difficult things that you're ever going to find in a Spanish class, just because it's such a subtle difference and it's something that we don't even think about in English and something that exists in English, but we're kind of sloppy about it. It's really, really hard. So really the best thing that you can do is try to study it a bit and then hear and read and just like see as much Spanish as you possibly can and pay attention to it. When you're watching TV shows, you'll hear people use the preterite and the imperfect, and you'll be able to kind of hear the difference between it. But it's hard. I mean, even the last time that I was in Spain with the Spanish exchange, there were a couple of times where I asked the host teacher, I was like, how would you say this, in the preterite or the imperfect? And I do the same thing with ser and estar. Like, it's something that you have to keep working on, and sometimes there's no good answer. Like, sometimes it could go either way. So we're not going to go into too much more depth on this topic because we can't do it in this format. It's just not going to work. So we're definitely on the downslope of this. So if you're miserable with the preterite and the imperfect, stick with me. We're almost done, I promise. I don't know what we're doing next, but I have all of vacation to figure it out. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that I think it helped me to understand the difference of the preterite and the imperfect. So I think it might help you as well. Let me present my window. Okay, so I posted this document in the assignment. And you can, if you have a printer, you can feel free to print this out if you want to take notes on it. I also shared with you an answer key, like a filled out version of the notes that you could just refer to, which is also totally fine if you want to just print it. If you don't have a printer, but you know that you learn best when you write things down, why don't you just pause this for a second and just make a similar chart? I would probably, just make 3 columns and then put the verbs down the side. So go ahead and pause this, get yourself ready, print if you need to print anything, do what you got to do. And all right, so here's the thing. I want you to remember that the preterite is used for single completed actions in the past. Think of a lightning bolt. It happens and then it's gone and it's over. But the imperfect is used for past conditions or routines, things that don't have a definite beginning or end. So the verbs that you see listed here on this chart actually translate to different things in English depending on if you use them in the preterite or the imperfect. And that's going to sound crazy to you until I start to give you some examples, and then it might actually help you understand the difference between the two tenses. So let me open up my notes. And oh my God, I lost the present button. Where is it? Hang on one second. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay. So remember preterite lightning bolt, imperfecto cloud. Okay, so if we start with saber, in the present, you know that saber means to know facts. In the imperfect, it's what you used to know. But in the preterite, the single completed action is what you learned or found out. So take a minute, write that down. Same thing with conocer. In the present, it means to be familiar with a person or a place. In the imperfect, it's someone or someplace that you used to know, somewhere that you used to be familiar with without a distinct beginning and end. But if you talk about that in the preterite as a single completed action, a lightning bolt, it's somebody that you met for the first time. So if I were to say yo conocía a Señor Atherton in the imperfect, it would mean I used to know Mr. Atherton. But if I say yo conocí a Mr. Atherton, it's I met him for the first time. Similar with tener, you know it as to have in the present. In the imperfect, it's something that you used to have. And in the preterite, the single completed action of having something is when you got it. It's the action of got it. When you say yo tenía un coche rojo, you're saying I used to have a red car. If you say yo tuve un coche rojo, it would be I got a red car. It's the emphasis in the preterite is on the action. You didn't have it and then you did. Poder in the present, you guys know, is to be able. In the imperfecto, it's what you used to be able to do. But if you think about it as a single completed action, if you say pude instead of podía, pude translates to you were able, as in you successfully did something. You did something, you succeeded in doing it. If I tell you yo pude ir al supermercado, it's I was able, I tried and succeeded in going to the supermarket. No poder is similar but opposite. It's in the present, it's to not be able. In the imperfecto, it's what you were not able to do. You used to not be able to do something. And in the imperfecto, it's that you try, I'm sorry, in the preterite, the preterito, it's that you tried and failed. Like, yo querría ir al supermercado, pero no pude. I couldn't porque no tenía coche. I couldn't go to the store. I failed in going to the store because I didn't have my car. Querer is a similar thing. In the presente, it's to want. In the imperfecto, it's what you used to want. Just having that feeling. I used to want that. And in the preterito, it's like the action of like, I came to want something at a specific time. This is weird. So it's like I think on the answer key of the notes, it says in the imperfecto, you could say, yo siempre querría un perrito. I always wanted a dog. But in the preterito, you would say, yo llegué a la tienda de mascotas y yo quise un perro. I all of the sudden wanted a dog. I all of the sudden got that feeling that I wanted it. It's a single completed action. Oh, right. No querer is the inverse. To not want, to used to not want, and refused. Because if you really didn't want something as an action, you would say you refused. Yo no quise tomar el examen. Not only did I not want to take the exam, but I refused to do it. Okay, so here's that chart again. And again, you may need to either watch this again, or you may need to pause this and start and stop and take some notes. If you want to write down the answer key, this is what mine looks like. It's also posted on Classroom. You can always copy it down. Um, you can always print it out yourself. That's totally fine. I am also going to share with you guys a Google form that asks you to do some of this stuff. I think it's on, well, I'll do something similar to what's on the bottom of these notes over here. And I'll have you guys do that. And I have one more thing that I'm going to post on Classroom for you to help you with the big idea of what is the difference between the preterite and the imperfect. And it's this chart that kind of lays everything out right next to it. The most important thing is what's in row 4. The equivalent in English of the preterite is ed, like something that you did. I jumped. What else ends in ed? I listened. And the equivalent of the imperfecto is what you were doing or what you used to do. Okay, so you have your notes. You're going to do the Google form. The only other thing that I'm going to have you do this week is it kind of incorporates everything that we have been doing in the past couple of weeks. So it's in your imperfect packet, actually, and it is page 8 of your imperfect packet. Ooh, I should have had that open, but it's page 8 of your imperfect packet. You're going to fill in either the preterite or the imperfect, and it's not easy. You're going to have to use your notes. It's not easy, but it does kind of wrap everything up that we've been doing. I promise you, we are in the home stretch of this preterite imperfect stuff. It's hard. So don't freak out if you don't understand it from a couple of screencasts that I have emailed home to you. So hang in there. And we're almost to vacation where you guys can finally relax at home for a while. So I hope everyone is doing well. Keep up the emails and the comments, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you.